It's Red Eye Radio. Gary McNamara and Eric Harley talk about everything from politics to social issues and news of the day. Whether you're up late or you're just starting your day, welcome to the show. From the Uniden America Studios, this is Red Eye Radio.
All across America, we are Red Eye Radio. He is Eric Harley, and I'm Gary McNamara. Good morning. This was really, really cool when I read this yesterday, and then it's just grown and grown and grown. The original post on X has 6.2 million views.
Yeah, wow.
And it was Chef Andrew Gruel, who has a restaurant on the Pacific Coast Highway. Mm-hmm. And he put this out. Anyone who has left L.A. and headed south, you are welcome at our restaurant at it's 16600 Pacific Coast Highway. We have a large parking lot. You can stay as long as you need and camp out. We will provide free meals for all of those affected. If anyone has any coordination and process for meals, supplies, whatever for L.A., reach out to me. We will provide as much food to deliver and arrange supplies as well. And, you know, the TV star, he is, as we all know.
Yeah.
And then it just kept growing. We will donate sales and help as well to any organization that needs it. Just want to make sure it's legit. People can message me if they have contacts. And then it grew to looking for the following donations: cases of water, baby formula, pet food, toiletries, personal hygiene items, gently used clothing and shoes. If you're able to donate, please drop off at the Calico Fish House, which is on the Pacific Coast Highway, their restaurant. Then it just kept growing bigger and bigger. In addition to the meals we are preparing, we are taking donations of pet food, personal hygiene items, baby formula, goes through the whole thing again. We will be driving the first batch up via cargo van to L.A. around 5 p.m., and it just keeps growing and growing and growing. And I just want to mention that because that is a microcosm. We know what we've talked about the last couple of days and how the left not doing the right things that allows something like this to happen.
Yeah.
But it's important to talk about how people pull together, too.
Yeah.
And these people are pulling together, and it's this one video, making another trip to drop off donations. Thank you for all the donations. Great people out there. And that just seeing it all, and boy, it continues. Update on the helping. This is from 3 hours ago. We have received and distributed truckloads now of donations.
Yeah.
You are all amazing. We had guests from the restaurant come and help drive the products to the Pasadena Convention Center with us, as well as help make over 200 meals to bring up. We are giving, where is it here? We are giving away meals at the restaurant to those in need as well. Tomorrow we'll be making a drop for pet supplies and baby supplies, then make more trips to L.A. for other needs. Thank you to the Dream Center for organizing and distributing so many products. Wow, and it's just a thanks for everyone who has chipped in. That's the last post from 3 hours ago. Probably trying to catch a few Z's. You know, it's something that we've talked about before. There's the politics and there's what's promoted in this nation that, you know, we're a divided nation. Mm-hmm. I've been in too many cities and seen too many natural disasters where Americans help Americans each and every day, and they don't care about your politics. They don't care about your race. Most Americans don't anyway. The vast majority don't, even in times where there is not an emergency like this.
Right.
You know, the vast majority of Americans are good, decent individuals that help each other, and that's what you're seeing here. And I was thinking that if I'm driving south and I come upon that and I don't know what the hell I'm going to do because my life has been destroyed because I've got nothing, and I know I can pull into a parking lot and I can get a meal, and then I get that, and I see that they're helping other people, so I start helping other people in that. I start helping other people when my life has been destroyed.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I get emotional thinking about that.
Yeah.
Because it's the incredible greatness and good that happens in the middle of when you are in a tragic situation yourself. And there's nothing better on earth when you see stuff like that happen. There's nothing better than that.
Yeah, nothing at all. A few people have, in fact, a number of people on the thread that he posted have arranged for Amazon to deliver some things, which was, I thought, pretty creative. And he was open to that, and he said, yeah, absolutely. I, in fact, just now, with that click in that moment, sent some diapers. And because I think about the situation of your mindset, everything is gone. You're staying in a shelter or somewhere, but for a number of these people, evacuated, and you don't have access to anything. And you may not have the resources to go get everything that you need. I look at the critical things, and Chef Gruel listed a number of things, diapers, formula, those things. They hit home with me because I've got 4 kids of my own, 8 grandkids, and I look at that and say, I can't imagine being in that spot. You're lost. Not only are you displaced and quite possibly everything is gone, you don't know how long you're going to be there. You don't know what is next. Because you think about the devastation for anyone who's lost everything in the fire, then what do? Right now, there is no planning. I mean, you don't know. And so what Chef Gruel did is amazing, but the people's response on this is pretty amazing. As he, you can, by the way, follow him on X, Chef Andrew Gruel, if you don't already. He's a great follow for a number of reasons, but Gruel, and follow him, and then you'll see his thread. He's got the address there, as you mentioned. It's a great effort here that's going on. I basically, for me, it was easy enough to do on Amazon. I'm not there in the OC in California, but Amazon will get it there tomorrow. So some bulk diapers. And I don't know how many people on this thread sending a number. One lady sent kids' shoes, socks, underwear for adults, cat food. She had a whole list of things she was sending via Amazon. But the point is that, and there are a number of ways to help, by the way, in a situation like this. And you feel, all of us who are removed from that situation, you feel very helpless.
And I'm sure this is just a microcosm of what's going on, of the people that are helping. And I know
there are a number
there's so much. I mean, when you see the footage, I mean, it's so the footage I've been just seeing overnight. I mean, it just and the stuff from the day yesterday where it looks like a war zone. Yeah, it looks like you've been hit by like you've been firebombed.
Yeah,
the videos of wartime when you've seen cities that have been firebombed. That's what it looks like. And when people lose, and the helplessness you have to feel until you can start communicating to rebuild your life again with the people you need to do that, and that's not going to happen immediately. How lost you feel to have people there to help you is something that you'll remember the rest of your life.
Yeah,
when that, and then the people that get help and then realize, well, wait a minute, there's nothing I can do about my situation. Let's go help others. That's to me, that is the core of what the United States is about, and people in this country. That's what it's about. And so,
well, and it's, when we have these discussions about the insane policies in California that give the first responders and the people of California a great disadvantage, when all of it can be changed, it's because we don't want to see anybody go through this ever.
Yeah.
And we certainly don't want them to suffer even more as a result of the policy. I mean, you don't want anybody to ever suffer, but you don't want them to be in a situation where the state government is tying the hands of first responders and ultimately, again, creating a disadvantage for the people of California. This has to change. This has to change. You're not going to be able to control the Santa Ana winds, but there are things you can control. And that needs to start now.
Well, and that's why, we had said earlier in the show where you have, Newsom trying to say, his response to everything last night or yesterday seemed to be, well, Trump is making this a political thing and Trump isn't uniting. Well, no, he's not uniting with you because you're the one, you're the governor of the state. You're the one that has set policy for years there. You agree with the policies that make the spreading of wildfires, you make it more easy for that to happen. I don't agree with you. I'm not going to unify with you. But I'm angry because of the people that are suffering. That's who I'm united with. And so, you can unite, but not agree or unite with the people that continually put in insane policies that allow these things to happen.
Yeah, it's the images. It seems with every set of wildfires that we go through and we cover, that the images and the videos coming out just seem to be getting worse and worse with each set of fires.
Yeah.
And the stories are always horrific. Always horrific. It's just, again, you feel helpless. I feel weak in moments like this. I feel like zero control. I can't imagine being in that place. You've got 5 people, according to officials, who have died. And now you have a situation where countless people in California have to decide, are you going to rebuild or are you going to – you can't even start to make plans. I don't know what that looks like. I don't know when the numb feeling wears off, where you turn, what you do.
And the shock.
It really is shock. It has to be. It is for me watching this because I got nothing. We can talk about everything that needs to change on policy. But I don't know what to say to anyone who's gone through this kind of devastation.
866-90-RED-EYE.
This morning's USDA Farm Report is brought to you by House Products. Tested, trusted, guaranteed since 1920.
Baltimore, Buffalo, Philadelphia. NFL franchise cities hosting wildcard playoff games this weekend. Winter conditions hit those areas earlier this week. Cold temperatures are expected at respective kickoff times. So regarding playoff football weather forecast, USDA meteorologist Brad Rippey starts with the Saturday night game in Baltimore.
Storm system will be pushing through earlier in the day. Possibility of some light precipitation, probably snow. But I don't think this is going to rise to the level of something that folks are going to remember for the weather.
The early Sunday game in Buffalo should include snow showers. However,
the setup is not such that we're expecting a significant impact from snow, not like Buffalo can be with those snow squall rates.
And the Sunday afternoon contest at Philadelphia, also calm by Philly standards.
It just looks like a chilly, dry day. Mostly sunny, temperatures in the 30s, falling into the 20s probably by the end of the game.
I'm Rod Bain reporting for the U.S. Department of Agriculture in Washington, D.C.
This report brought to you by Cenex Fuels and Lubes.
We'll be right back with more Red Eye Radio with Eric Harley and Gary McNamara.
It's Red Eye Radio. He's Eric Harley, and I'm Gary McNamara. Welcome and good morning. We've played the audio cuts throughout the morning of L.A. Mayor Karen Bass not answering questions, reading a prepared statement, Newsom out there blaming Trump for not unifying people because he's going after what caused all of this. Of course, the only people we wish to unify with are the people that are actual victims, not the people because of stupid liberal policies that help cause this. Here's Trump yesterday at Capitol Hill. He seemed to be answering more questions than the actual officials of California or Biden. Biden talked about the bad thing of houses burning down, then went right into he's a great-grandfather now. And then turned his back and walked away. It's unbelievable, but here's Trump.
In California, Mr. President, during the pandemic, you often said that you didn't believe that you should bail out blue states that you believe were being mismanaged. Given your criticism of Governor Gavin Newsom, are you willing to work with him, and do you believe that federal aid should be provided to California for as long as it takes?
Well, it's very sad because I've been trying to get Gavin Newsom to allow water to come. You'd have tremendous water up there. They send it out to the Pacific because they're trying to protect a tiny little fish, which is in other areas, by the way, called a smelt. And for the sake of a smelt, they have no water. They had no water in the fire hydrants today in Los Angeles. It was a terrible thing. And we're going to get that done. It's going to finally be done. I got it done from the federal side, and he didn't want to sign it, but it's not going to happen again like that. There's no reason. Can you imagine? You have farmers that don't have any water in California. They have plenty of water. They don't have a drought. They send it out to the Pacific, and it's crazy. So what's happening in California is a true tragedy. I know those areas very well. I have many friends living in those houses. That is a true tragedy. Nobody ever thought. I mean, virtually Beverly Hills and areas around Beverly Hills are being decimated. The biggest homes, some of the most valuable homes in the world are just destroyed. I don't even know. You know, you talk about a tax base. If those people leave, you're going to lose half your tax base of California. This is a true tragedy, and it's a mistake of the governor, and you could say the administration. They don't have any water. They didn't have water in the fire hydrants. They don't have water. And yet they have, the water comes from, you know where? Up north. And it comes down at levels, they give millions and millions of barrels of gallons of water that they have, and they send it out into the Pacific. For the Pacific, it's like a drop, it's nothing. But for California, it would take care of the whole state. So what's happened is a tragedy, and the governor has not done a good job. With that being said, I got along well with him when he was governor. We worked together very well, and we would work together. I guess it looks like we're going to be the one having to rebuild it. But what happened there, I don't think there's anything that I've ever seen quite like it. And the insurance companies are going to have a big problem.
Yeah. It's the stark contrast between the two, between Biden and Trump. You know, Biden, we talked about with not reading the room. What I saw yesterday was a headline on a push notification from, I think it was CNN. And the quote was, "For the sake of the smelt." So the liberal activist media took that and look what he said. Yeah, let that go viral, because it brings the discussion to the top of the table again. And we need to have that discussion about the water situation in California. The people of California deserve it.
And that has been a deal outside of wildfires, as we know.
Right, exactly.
For farmers.
Yep, as he mentioned. Mm-hmm.
For water.
For just having water.
Just having water itself.
Right.
And you know, we've talked about how liberalism wishes to destroy the electric grid. We know, for example, electricity prices, double what they are in the state of Texas. And we know the insanity of what they wish to do. Well, we can run the entire grid on solar and wind.
Yeah, right.
We don't need water. I mean, it's the height of absolute stupidity.
Yep.
You're listening to Red Eye Radio. from the Uniden America Studios.
It's Red Eye Radio. He is Eric Harley, and I'm Gary McNamara. Welcome and good morning. Download our Red Eye Radio app today, and you can listen when and where you choose. You ready for this?
All right.
This is CNN's Harry Enton talking about, Biden did the interview with USA Today and said he could have defeated President Trump had he not dropped out. Now, you and I were the first in the nation to predict that this would happen.
Yep. We knew it.
This is back in the summertime.
Right.
We said, watch what happens when she loses. He's going to come out and say, I could have won.
Yep.
I could have won. And that will make him feel better.
Yep.
Make his family feel better.
Right.
Because you can't disprove it. Well, you would think that it would be the conservative networks that would say, okay, let's actually dig deep into this and find out whether Biden actually could have won.
Right.
And we're going to prove to you that he could not have won. Well, no, because the liberal networks are taking care of that for us. Here's the pollster Harry Enton on CNN calling that claim not just probably false, but flat out bonkers.
Joe Biden, in his exit interview with USA Today, claims that he could have beaten Donald Trump had he stayed in the race. So this begs the question, could Biden have won the 2024 election had he stayed in the race? Truthfully, I categorize his statement as flat out bonkers. Why do I say his statement is flat out bonkers, that he could have won the 2024 election had he stayed in the race? Just take a look here. The road to 270 electoral votes, Trump versus Biden, based upon polling when Biden dropped out of the race. Look at those Great Lake battleground states. You know the ones I'm talking about: Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania. Donald Trump ahead in all three. How about here in the Southeast, North Carolina, Georgia? Again, Trump leads. How about here in the Southwest, Nevada, Arizona? Again, Trump leads. But it's not just that Trump was ahead. He was ahead by a lot in these key battleground states. Again, when Biden dropped out of the race, let's take a look at the polls in the Great Lakes. What do we got? 3, 4, 5-point leads in Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania for Trump. A lot of red on this side of the screen as well. Georgia, North Carolina, Nevada, and Arizona. Those key Sunbelt battleground states, 5, 6, 6, and 6-point leads. My goodness gracious. Of course, this is just 1 point in time. I know that's what Joe Biden would like to argue. So let's look at the entire 2024 campaign. Days Biden led Trump in 2024 when Biden was still in the race. Get this, 0, nada, no days was Biden ahead of Donald Trump. Now, of course, we looked at 1 point in time. We'll look at when Biden was still in the race. What would have happened if Biden had stayed in the race? Is there any record of candidate as unpopular as Joe Biden winning? Look, Biden's net approval rating on Election Day, minus 19 points. Look at this. 0 of 6 incumbents reelected with a negative net approval rating. The bottom line is this. Joe Biden was behind, he had always been behind, and he most likely would have stayed behind, and that's why I categorize his statement that he could have won the 2024 election as flat out bonkers.
Flat out bonkers. 19 million Pinocchios.
Flat out bonkers. Oh, my gosh.
Wow.
I will say this, though, also, if you want to just look at the Biden presidency in anything that happened yesterday, it was obviously when, and we had played it, but the audio is just, there's so much noise around it. But when Biden came out and said, the bad news, I'm paraphrasing here, people are going to lose the homes. But the good news is I'm a great-grandfather. And everybody clapped, and he turned around and walked out and didn't take any questions. That was it. You want to wrap up the Biden presidency in just that, in a minute? That's it right there.
Yeah.
People are suffering.
Yeah.
You're looking at these, American public looking at these, what's been referred to as hellscape videos. It looks like it's a war zone. It reminds me, you see the damage. You see some of the cameras going through some of the populated areas, and it looks like some of the firebombing of some of the cities in Germany during World War II.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, that's how bad it looks. And they're all laughing, joking, and applauding. Then he turns around, takes no questions, and walks out. And you take that along with Mayor Karen Bass when she, arrived back in there, and that reporter was asking her questions, and she just sat there and stared straight ahead, tried to get out another door. It wasn't that it was loud or anything. She could clearly hear the questions. He was a couple of feet from her, as was the camera, looking at her, not prepared at all, sat there and didn't answer anything. And then when she finally read the prepared script, actually said, and if you need help, you can go to URL.
Yeah.
It's like URL. What is that?
What?
Is that the United Relief Legion or something?
What is?
Oh, no. You're referring to a website that you never gave.
Right.
I mean, it just, and then with Newsom, when being asked about it, said, well, Trump's not uniting because Trump isn't saying the California politicians had done a great job all along. And so he's blaming Trump. It just, when you look at it and you take, somebody wrote, they said, we thought the demise of Newsom would be COVID. Maybe we're wrong.
Yeah. No, that's a great point.
Because of the response here.
He looked so weak.
Really did.
He looked so weak because, we cover a lot of things that happen. But when there's, you mentioned Governor Abbott of Texas because of the winter storm there. But you think about the hurricanes in Florida, Governor DeSantis. That's somebody who's taken the lead.
Well,
Governor Newsom never seems to have the reins.
Trump.
Yeah.
Trump was great.
Yep.
In front of Trump was great yesterday every time he was asked about it.
And he's not even, we have to remind the left, he's not president yet.
Yeah. After Gavin Newsom, we had to remind everybody, just so you know, Trump is not president. Biden is. We know it seems like he is. Yeah. Now, and by the way, that's driving the left. We brought that up a couple of weeks ago. They said, for God's sakes, it's like Trump is president already.
Yeah.
And it does seem like it.
Yeah, it does. Jeez. Yeah. It really does. But that's it. You have to take the lead. You have to take action. But it seems like Newsom never is in charge. He never comes off as the guy in charge. It's a weird kind of posturing. And you're not there to be, you're there to be everybody's advocate based on what they're going through in that moment, in a situation like that. You're there working for, and it doesn't matter who it is, all he wants to do is talk about what Trump said. What are you doing? You're the governor. Once again, the left, the only thing they have on Trump is words, which, by the way, weren't off base at all on this. And we're going to take we want people to be united. We want solidarity with the. What are you doing? It's maddening.
Yeah, because that was such a poor answer because you're saying, well, Trump isn't blaming the people whose houses are burning down.
No, he's not.
He's not he's criticizing you.
Right. Policy.
For what you did wrong. And you're making it seem that he's not trying to unite with the people that are the Americans that are victims, which, of course, he is.
Yeah.
Now, I do have to play this because we had just did the Harry Enton thing about whether Biden could win. So, Hakeem Jeffries, the minority leader, was out there yesterday, and he was asked the question whether he believes Biden could have won.
Oh, okay.
All
right. All right.
Here we go.
Thank you, Mr. Leader. I know over the summer you met and had a private conversation with President Biden in the run-up to his decision to exit the 2024 race. In a new interview in USA Today, he says that he believes that he could have beaten President Trump based on the polling. You saw the polling as well. Is the president right?
We're looking forward, not backward.
Huh?
We're looking forward, not backward.
Yeah, but that's not what I asked you. That's not a yes, by the way. Right? I mean, at least Schumer over in the Senate is still doing the delusional thing. Nothing's wrong with Biden. Yes, he would have won. Oh, wait a minute. You can't. Nobody else but Biden can say that. Why? Kamala. You can't throw her under the bus. That's the problem. Do you think Biden would have won? No comment. We're looking forward, not backward.
Now, this is from MSNBC. I'm going to read the transcript.
Okay.
Anna Marie Cox was on MSNBC.
All right.
And she believes Trump is a threat to democracy and everything else.
Right.
But she's taking the line that we asked a while back. We said, why are Democrats defending Biden? This is a perfect time politically. I'm talking politically.
Right.
You reject him and say, it doesn't matter if you're going to do the same damn thing.
Right.
We reject what he did.
Right.
And we reject what he's doing now. And we realize he is a failed presidency and we're going to move forward. That would be the correct political move.
Because you're attempting to put all of your party's baggage in his U-Haul.
Yes. And she said, I personally think that Trump is a threat to democracy, but that's not what's going to move a lot of people. We saw that, right? And so it can be true that something is really bad and scary, and also true that that's not what the voters want to hear. And that's not what necessarily is the best argument for us to make right now. I personally think that the Democrats are not doing themselves any favors by gathering around Biden at this point, by defending him or arguing in favor of things like Hunter Biden. I'm having a little trouble.
Yeah.
But Hunter Biden's pardon, right? I don't think he should have pardoned Hunter. I also think that to support Hunter is a mistake right now because it is of sort of just looking to the past, right? Like, wouldn't it be better for everyone to look forward?
Yeah.
So you can see the talking points are out there now.
Yeah.
Starting to get out there saying, we've got to start throwing this guy under the bus a little bit. I'd throw him under the bus if I'm a Democrat big time because he doesn't care. He's angry at the Democrats.
Well, no, that's it. He's not there for you.
Right.
He's not going to be. I mean, for him, he really doesn't care about legacy. But if there is any legacy, according to him, it's going to be, I would have won. I would have won. Right. And for the party or anybody in the party, it would be, no. He's responsible for everything I did wrong. I took his lead. By the way, when Biden that day, he came out into the press briefing room, and kind of threw Kamala, everything we did, look, she was right there with me on everything. And basically, it's her fault too. And, and something he's never done where he just walks out, move over, KJP, I got to say something.
And that was the night she was going to speak.
She was going to talk.
To separate herself from him.
The word had gotten out, and this is how it went down. The word had gotten out, and he got wind of her in that interview. She was going to say, there are things I disagree with. I would have done differently, blah, 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 blah. He ran down the hall while the media was still in the house and said, hey, everybody, guess what? We're connected at the hip. And she was part of everything that I did. And she had to back down and never did try and separate herself from him. That's the way it went down. Well, if I'm a Democrat right now, it's like, hey, since you're leaving, take these bags with you.
Don't let the door hit you.
Exactly. Right.
866-90 Red Eye.
We'll be right back with more Red Eye Radio with Eric Harley and Gary McNamara.
It's Red Eye Radio. He's Eric Harley, and I'm Gary McNamara. I just saw the headline, 1 million without power.
Yeah.
That's the one thing you don't think of there, for the number of people without power and how long, because how much of the grid will be destroyed with a fire like that,
right.
How long it will take to get back up.
Well,
and that's different than even ice.
Sure. And in many areas, the cell phone towers are not operating, so there's no cell phone availability and signals. Starlink credited for, in fact, helping in a big regard, the Elon Musk company, and to a large extent, rather. And so it's, again, I don't know. So much was destroyed, This is going to be unlike any other wildfire they've seen, or wildfires they've seen in the past.
Looking at the headline right now, most destructive in history.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just devastating. And again, a red flag warning for high gusts all the way through 6 p.m. on Friday. So the winds have died down, but still dangerous.
This is Red Eye Radio on Westwood One.